Hi friends, it's been a minute, but I am excited to be here today to share with you a look at how I have set up my 2026 Week in the Life album. I am actually going to be documenting a little bit before the Community Documenting Week, and I'm going to start my documenting week on May 4th. Just a week that worked out a little bit better for me personally, and honestly, I'm excited and I can't wait to get started on the project. So I am working in 6x8 this year, and I got the album, the Black and White Stories album from Allie's collection, as well as the main kit and the plastic squares as an add-on. And that's it. Everything else I have either pulled from my stash or I've made digitally and kind of just made it work. So let's take a look. So my front page here is this camera pattern vellum is from the photo story play kit or photography story play kit. It's an old one. I bought them. I never did anything with them, so they're sitting in my stash. So I pulled this out. The colors match almost perfectly, and it's a great little opening. So on the front, I stitched that one little week in the life card that was in the main kit and stamped my dates on there already. And in the back, I've used this currently stamp set from Allie Edwards because the font is kind of similar to what's in the kit this year and just fun. And I haven't used this stamp set a lot, so I wanted to give it a little more use. So I'm going to be holding on to this in case it makes sense to put anywhere throughout the album as I'm working on pages. But I've already used it a couple of times, as you'll see. So first one up is right here. I've got the story capturing the details of right now, and I've just written a little bit about how this will be my 10th year of documenting a week in our life, and why I do it. So sort of like a reason why, or a first part of a reason why. Here will go a family photo of some sort, and then I've put aside that 2026 tag that came in the main kit to use with this photo. Here, I downloaded a font that's really, really similar to the font that's used in the in Allie's products. Close enough for me, anyway. It's called Chunko Bold, and I believe I got it from Dafont, D-A-F-O-N-T. I think is where I downloaded it from. It was a free font. I'm happy to have it and have it downloaded. So I did a who, what, when, where, why. I kind of wanted to keep with that bold, fun, bright look of the kit. And so I've done just a little bit about who we are, where we work, what we're doing, you know, just normal stuff that I like to include in our week in the life. And then for each day, so this is where we start to get into my days formula, and you can see I have already filled in every day. So I have all my spots. I know exactly what I need going into documenting week. So every day is starting off with the half circle divider page that came in the kit, and I'm not crazy about the all kitchen themed images that are on these, but ultimately it really doesn't matter. I like to use a divider. I don't care what's on the front of it right now. Most of it is covered anyway. So the plastic letters that came in the kit, most people have figured out by now, don't coordinate fully with the color of the day. So I mismatched them all so that none of them match. So it's a different color just for that piece, and then I'm sticking with like green for the rest of Monday, pink for the rest of Tuesday, etc. And I actually am really happy with how it turned out. It doesn't bother me at all. So I've used on each one, I've stamped out the day of the week. This is using an old, I think Ellie Studio stamp set for the days of the week. I'm not sure. It's in my stash, and it's been separated out into like its own sort of themed stamp set, so I don't even have the original packaging or anything anymore. But I use that because it fit pretty well with each in this space. I've used the vellum flower and that coordinates with each day, and one of the labels from the main kit, and stamped the date on it, and then stitched all of those pieces in place. On the back side, I've taken the digital of that Story Play camera page and printed that just on some thin presentation paper, matte presentation paper, to adhere to the back of all of my. I love that that connects to the front page. I love that it carries through the bright colors, and just gives me a nice base. I wasn't sure that I was going to use the vellum pockets because I'm very much in a season of wanting to work inside my page protectors and not have things that are fussy outside of my page protectors. But I really love the colors and I don't know where else I would use them. So I decided to go ahead and do it. But I took out the Gratitudes 3x4 card that was in them, because I wanted that to be readable without pulling it out and looking at it. And so I made my own journaling cards for each day. Again, using this stamp set. So it's today, I know I'll want to remember this, and it's 3 things from the day that we want to remember. Whether anybody ever looks at this or not probably will be irrelevant because most of those details are going to be shown in photos or journaling throughout that day anyway. So I sort of look at this as like a bonus. So it's fussy a little bit, but outside the page protector. But if nobody looks at it, I think it's okay. And then on each pocket, I'm adding a label sticker from the stickers that were in the kit, and a little gold puffy heart that's from an Ellie Studio puffy sticker set that I have in my stash. So then for each day, remember we're talking about the formula now. These are just the extra pieces that I have left over that I haven't put in my kit already. So I've got 2 labels. I've got the green or the colored floral vellum tag, and then I have the day of the week vellum tag with the little like space cut out of it. So what's going to happen with this is on the first page of each day, it's going to be a full page photo. And then this tag is going to go on there. And I'm going to use these gold puffy December daily numbers that I have from my stash to put the numbers 1 through 7 on there. Just for 7 days of the week, I kind of like to have a number in there. So right now I just have those stored for each day. So it'll be a full page photo. And then on the back, I've decided for the first time in quite a few years, I want to actually do the timeline. So I have a digital version of the Week in the Life journal. I don't have the digital version from this year. I have it from maybe the last year, I think. And so this is going to go here. I am planning to handwrite all of my journaling this year. That's going to be a big difference for me because I tend to like to type my journaling, but as of right now, my plan is to handwrite, and my plan is actually to kind of handwrite throughout the day so that I'm completing, well, not completing, but I'm at least getting my journaling and my words in my book by the end of every day throughout the week. I've got a trip coming up in the very beginning of June, and I want this project to be completely finished before I leave on that trip. So I'm trying to make it simple. Simple is my one little word this year. So I'm trying to keep it simple for myself. So I've already printed out all of the journaling sheets for the days of the week. I actually bought some new printer paper. This is just copy paper because the matte paper tends to kind of mess up my pens. And then they get weird and they stop writing on me. So I've printed them out. I changed the day of the week at the top and used that Chunko bold font that I downloaded to create my own days of the week in the coordinating colors. So I'm really happy with how those turned out. These will probably be my sort of scratch sheets, and then I may rewrite onto a final sheet with the new nicer printer paper that I got, copy paper that I got. So I'm gonna have timeline here. Then we move into the 3x4 pockets. So here I like to include a screenshot every day for the weather. So I usually take a photo looking out our front windows. And I use an app called WeatherShot for that. I'll put a link to it in the description. And then on the day of the week card, I'm thinking just doing kind of like an overview of the day, like a paragraph about what happened, you know, sort of looking over the day as a whole. Photos will probably go in the rest of these pockets. And on the back, I've got the 1, 2, 3 gratitudes. And then the rest will probably be photos. Then I've got this divider, which is a cool divider I had in my stash from scrapbook.com. And it's 2 4x4s and 2x2s along the side. So I've decided the front, I put in 4 of the plastic 2x2s for that day that coordinated with that day. And then I've used the currently little label from the chipboard set that came in the kit. So I'm using the currently on there. It kind of mirrors the little bits of life. And then these will be photos. And that allowed me to, on the back, include the 1-2 card. And what I'm going to do here is choose 2 ing words from this set, from the stickers every day, different ones every day, or, you know, whatever is relevant that day. And I'm going to just adhere them on and then write a little bit about something that we're loving, listening, watching, working, feeling, eating, reading, laughing about. So that's sort of my plan there. And then on the back, on those 2x2s, I've included the utensils 2x2, and then I will have 2x2s of each of our meals going down the side. So it'll be a photo, journaling, and 2x2s. Then I have a 4x6 insert, so that'll probably mostly be photos. Then I have a 3x8 insert, and what I did here was I made I minimized or like shrunk down that pattern with the cameras on there, and I made my own tabs. I have a tab punch from Stampin' Up! From years and years ago. And so I just made my own punch. It has like a rounded part on it. I just trimmed that off so it was a little smaller, and that will be my tab for my little insert here. So each 3x8 has one of these tabs. And again, I just like that it's a decision made once, right? Based off of my cover page for the album, right? So, okay, I've got this as a digital, I've got it in the vellum from the physical kit. So use the vellum from the physical kit, get something out of my stash. That's a plus. And then I'm incorporating it throughout. That repetition is just nice. And there's already so much repetition in the album that this will work in there well. And then on the front, I've got the In This Season card where I plan to do 3 little snippets of journaling, I think, as of right now, about just how things are in this season, whether or not they happen on that day. And then on the back, this was an idea that I got from Deneen. She had she took the day of the week. She had a bunch of more digitals than she had digitals that I didn't buy. And so she had these digitals that she put at the top, and she planned to do a screenshot from the Front Pages app, which is a newspaper front page app that you can download. I'll also include a link to that. And so I made one that was very similar to what she had, except I made my own because I downloaded that font. So again, this is using that Chunko bold font, which I'll try to put a link to as well. And I'm going to include a screenshot here of the newspaper, probably a national newspaper most days. I'll usually look at what we have going on in our Baltimore papers and then see which one is more interesting or more relevant to our lives, I suppose. And so that'll go here. So that's my little 3x8 insert. And then here I've got another full page photo, and I've got the Monday tag, the Monday Moments tag, or the Day of the Week Moments tag. So that'll go as an embellishment on that photo, and it'll be full page photo front and back. Or if I have more photos I want to use, creating a collage of some sort, but I still plan to use that. One of them will be a full page photo at least. And so then you can see it just repeats for each day of the week. So Tuesday, I've got all of my pink things in place and ready to go. And I really love the graphic look of this and the way this turned out. I also alternated, I moved these around so that my chipboard piece wouldn't always be at the same spot, so that part of my album doesn't get super bulky. So it'll move down throughout the day, or throughout the days. And so again, just repeating everything throughout. I love the orange. That's so, so fun. And then we've got the dark green on Thursday. Friday is that blue, that like sky blue, teal blue, turquoise, whatever color you call that. I guess it's more turquoise. Yellow for Saturday. And then we've got the dark blue for Sunday. I did my label a little bit different here. This was the first one I did. I actually didn't love the way that turned out, so I changed it on the others. And that's fine. I may include something at the back for screenshots of screenshots from my phone for different things, news apps or email or text messages or things like that. I might actually end up including that as one of my photos here at the end of my formula. I might include, one year I did a 2x2 page in the back that was all outtakes from the week. That was super fun. Just photos that didn't get used. I could also do a page of ephemera in the back of the album. I'm not sure yet if I will do any of that, but I've left myself those options. Yeah, if you've got any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks for watching. Happy week in the life.